I honestly don't know what people complain about. Such a beautiful world. Maybe they just stopped living in it. Stopped getting out and being a part of it. That's an ugly solution. Well, I mean, short of another person, it would sure be, yeah, better to share this experience. You'd be like, hey, how you doing there? Cute stuff. Let's get some body lotion, a little sunscreen on your back, huh? Make sure you don't get burned, sweet toots. But life is born into this world alone, die alone. I don't mind much being alone as long as I've got wild places and exciting adventures. It'd be good to share it, but it's not necessary. Besides, the work's too important. I have done my best though. I've cast the net over the whole globe to see if I could find a woman who would be like me. Isn't that cute? I said that just right. You're supposed to be yourself, but if you're a woman, and God knows this is true, if you're looking for a mate that you can meld with, two become one. Someone you can be like, you can look up to. You have to find that. Sometimes we have to adjust ourselves to find that. And looking the wrong way or looking down on people for too long, we don't know how to see what's right in them. We'll probably talk about that for a few minutes. But I'd probably risk a wipeout, you know. Wow, that was a close call out there. Did you catch that? Let's look this way. Alright. So, how do we get the wrong impression of people? I call it the ideologue. There is living in you, around you, maybe even off of you, a negative force. We'll go over the history of that, where that negative force came from, but maybe some other time. At any rate, the negative force looks for weakness, what it perceives as weakness. It might be weakness in others, and it points it out and makes your inner ego feel good if you acknowledge it. You know, oh yeah, that Mark Richardson, he's just such a useless bag of shit because he doesn't believe in God, and every time I talk to him, he's always putting God down. See, that's not love though. You have to say, okay, well, if Mark were a girl, that's not the kind of girl I'd marry. Because while he might be rich and maybe a little bit older than I am, he hates God, you know, and that's something that's just not gonna fly in my world. Because I know God. Personal, living being, you know. Not to acknowledge God in my presence, but to hate God in my presence would be like a small bit of darkness approaching the sun. I don't believe in the sun. I don't believe in the God who created the sun. You know. Oh boy. So that's what the negative ideologue does with the thinking. And if it gets a hold of your mind, and we're all assigned one, it's just part of being here on the planet. There's a fight, and the fight is who gets to keep us. Does the negative energy get to keep us and torture us and show us that, ha, I deceived you all this time and now you're in anguish. Hopefully that anguish ends, to be endlessly tortured because you believe the wrong set of lies. Wow, it's like to be a log cast adrift on the ocean and wind up never being a tree again, just only good for firewood. Somehow I feel like putting myself down. Wow, dude, that's epic. It's good to know so much. Unfortunately, it sets you apart. You can't even hang with the crowd because if they ask you what you believe, then you're going to ask them, well, what do you believe? And they're going to turn out to be believers in what, A rock musician? A rap star? Themselves? What is that, man? I'll tell you what that is. Sand. We're just so small. You put your belief into something so small, it just makes you small. Sorry, Matt, we live in a small world. It's a small world after all. But I'll tell you this, he's got it all in his hands. He does know how to operate even through Jiminy the Cricket, Pinocchio. Cricket is the conscience. Boy, that caught on like wildfire. Put that news out there. Justin Timberlake threw it in there. Tons of people ended up using the cricket to symbolize, is your conscience ready to stop looking down on people, start looking up to them, start realizing that you have to build right where you're at. And excuse me, honeys, but you're not that far from the bottom. You're beautiful and thoughtful, but you're also emotional and moody, and today you swerve this way, and tomorrow it's whatever, and then it's I love you, and then it's, well, but I also love all these other people, and it's like, hi, are you a ding-dong? Because you look like a doorbell. I think I'm going to push you. I'm going to push you to see if you're real. Don't be a ding-dong. Anyway, well, I'll drink to that. Don't be a ding-dong. Wish I had something to drink. What do I think about Pirates of the Caribbean? Well, Johnny Depp did an amazing job. Of course, all you have to be is really good at acid to do that, and have a good outfit. See, with acid, as long as you can trick everybody else and still get what you want, it's all good. The reality is that's not so good. It's not a good, pirates are not a good character for sharing. Hi, my dad's a pirate. Why did I choose a pirate then? Well, it just happens to be that they're extremely lovable and desirable because they don't exist, so they're sort of fable material, they're fantasy material. just worked out that way. I happened to dress as a pirate for a Halloween back in somewhere like 2011, and ever after that the pirate aspect stuck, because well, he's a rebel. He believes in marijuana and psilocybin and has a connection to God, and that's rebel material. So he's just kind of this far out pirate. He's kind of like Johnny Depp. I still remember that moment when I was getting the cold shoulder from some broad, and I grabbed a Johnny Depp snippet and I said, "Sour grapes." Best thing to handle somebody who's treating you bad is just like, whatever. Because you don't know. You don't know what their fate's going to be. Some people fight against God, and then when it's really push come to shove, God just forces them to surrender. By the way, do you like your life? Because I could strip your spirit from you and you'd die. Just like that. That's what happened to Saul. He was persecuting the church. Saul II, you might say. New Testament. Persecuting the church. And the church, of course, was a psilocybin church. Not every day, but on the Sabbath, they all took the communion together. And I guess it grew better in days when Jerusalem wasn't a desert. That's the punishment for ignoring God. Will dry you out, just like warfare. Good luck in that fortress of yours without any water. I hate to say it, but I'm on God's side. If it's that important, then fight for it. Pardon my French. Not a Frenchman or a sailor. And when I lie, I try just to lie down. A whole lot better for you.